beep, 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 beep. Bam, boom, bam, bam.
In Spanish would be like, it's a diablo, mami, yo quisiera ser tu mecánico. And then you expect like the...
Porque te quiero desarmar ese toto.
Te quiero...
That sounds better.
A desarmarte la creta. You make my day. You make my day better. You always make my day better, whether we takes a little or a lot.
Smooth and adorable. Well, welcome, guys.
Welcome.
This is going to be our first episode of Chop It Up. And this is our attempt at trying to, do something new in terms of us.
Yes.
This is new territory for us.
True.
We've seen podcasts for how many years?
A lot. So, with that being said, we are trying to have like our own space for people to feel comfortable and come here and chop it up with us, right? We've been through so many situations, especially the one that we're gonna talk about today, because, right? Because of the experience that we had and what we went through, that's what actually motivated us to create this podcast. Because we're sick and tired of layoff.
So today's topic, and the most important thing in many people's minds, is work.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, everybody needs work.
Exactly.
Whether it's work you enjoy, whether it's work that you could say, oh yeah, I only do it half the week and it pays very well. Wish I had that. But no, man, we got laid off a few months ago, and that is why we decided to do this, because it's like, you know what, let's see if we could put our personality out there and just talk about all our problems.
December 31st.
Of all days.
2024.
Yeah.
On the last minute of the last day of the year.
We got laid off.
We got laid off. Late notice too. And we got hit by a truck, and literally, what was it? We have to come up with a plan as soon as possible because we got bills to pay. We had things that we got to do. Homeboy just got his apartment, and we needed a way to literally survive. And I'm not gonna lie, I was stressed the fuck out, bro.
Nah, I was stressed in terms of, granted, yeah, paying bills and all that, but it was the fact of like, I'm tired of being scared of being laid off. And most people, we're from New York, so a lot of people tell us, oh, get a state job, get a city job, this and this. And me personally, it's something like, I want to do something that I enjoy. And I know a lot of people may say like, oh, that's not going to pay the bills. That's bullshit. Because I see people every day doing something they enjoy. I see them on YouTube. I see them on TikTok. I see them on Twitch. I see random mofos literally doing anything.
I know.
And making money.
I know.
So, why not make money being ourselves?
I agree. So here's the thing. When it comes to layoff, they're a little bit unfair because at the end of the day, the company or the person who is, letting you go, they don't really care about the commitments and responsibilities that you got to take care of, right? They only think about their own benefits and how they
budgets,
and they don't mind chopping up some heads, especially now the way this economy is looking.
Terrible.
But you're right. I think it's time for us to go out there into the wild,
into the wild, into the deep, and that's why we're doing this, because at the end of the day, we want to see where we could get somewhere with this, whether this can be a part-time or full-time.
Exactly. And with that being said,
make sure to show love, guys.
Yes, please.
Please make sure to show love, yo.
Every like counts.
If you're from New York, you already know how this jungle rolls. And we've worked security. Then we bumped up to corporate security. And next thing you know, we thinking, oh yeah, maybe we could go up the ladder or something. Yeah, no.
Yeah, no,
You need
it's
connections.
exactly. It's no longer what you know, but who you know. And we've been there, done that. Like we already know people that, damn, $33 an hour. Granted,
$43.
yeah, granted, these people knows his job, right? And all power to that person. You know what I'm saying?
Seriously.
Okay. But when I tell you, Humble was playing dice and he got a double six, I don't know, right? I'm like, Jesus.
At the double six, he got a lucky 7.
He got a lucky 7. And
37.
there you go.
37.
There you go. And then but to make this story short, right? I remember that they calling everybody one by one, separately, because they don't wanna, they don't want no commotions. They wanna keep it low. And they called you first.
Yes, they called me first.
And what happened?
Because I'm punctual. No offense. I'm punctual when it comes to getting to post. So I'm over here, minding my business. I get to the post, and Boss Man Jr., let's call him, Boss Man Jr. comes out of nowhere talking about, hey, we gotta tell you something. Supervisor comes to be there, which I don't get why, because it's like, what are you gonna do if I decide to throw you a chair?
Well, maybe he was there to block another walkie-talkie.
It could be. It definitely could be. But
I still don't. I still find that story wild, though.
Nah. So basically, how that happened with that supervisor was basically that his boss was on top of a coworker of ours too much. And this coworker was actually doing his job. And that's what I don't get. Like, sometimes you have somebody who does their job so well, doing everything, and because, they do one little thing, you want to nitpick all of a sudden. And it's like, no, why? Mm-hmm. If it doesn't have to do with disturbing the client or not doing your job, don't bring it up. Don't nitpick it.
I agree.
Like, it's like my job now, which I'm not gonna lie, I love it, but I feel like anything that has happened is something they've nitpicked.
I feel you.
And I'm not gonna lie, maybe, it's because of this little color I'm rocking. This color, this beautiful color that somehow seems to get people in trouble. It's like you hear something, you see something, and the first, beautiful colored person, oh, it was that guy.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, don't shoot.
Chill.
Don't shoot.
Chill. But no, like, so with him, it was basically, he was a rover doing everything. Always doing everything. Always on top of his post orders. And one time, Big Boss calls him in, just on his ass for no reason, honestly. I never understood why exactly he got called into the office, but I remember footage, ended up going around where he threw his badge at the Big Boss. Supervisors over here trying to provide backup. That backup didn't work so well.
Nope.
Because, homeboy took the radio after he took the badge and threw it at Big Boss. He took the radio and just threw it backwards like, yo, fuck this shit. And supervisors just happened to be behind him.
Damn.
He didn't do it on purpose, No charges were pressed or anything, thankfully, because he got a daughter and shit, you feel me? So he don't need that. He don't need that bullshit.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think in all actuality, nadie necesita esa mierda, bro. Porque it's like, I'm there to work, and if I'm doing my job, fuck off.
Yeah, I agree.
Fuck off.
You got to remember, like, even
Don't
when we,
nitpick at little shit.
yeah, even when we were doing our job, there was always something. There was always something. There was always something missing. And even when I remember, I think like, do you remember the day after Thanksgiving, right? That we were just walking around doing our stuff.
Some coworkers happen to get away.
So yeah, bro.
Shit.
Nah, and the biggest one is like, there's nobody in the building, and we're just drinking coffee while doing our job, and then
Drinking coffee, minding our business, doing our job.
somebody, one of the supervisors comes in and say like, I see you drinking coffee, but not doing what you're supposed to do. I'm like, what are you talking about, my man?
No. The worst part is because remember we were doing rover work that day, right? He said, I see you drinking coffee, walking around with no sheet in your hand.
No sheets in your hand.
¿Desde cuándo? Since when does a rover have the sheet in his hand
I don't understand.
as he's roaming the halls?
I don't understand. it. The amount of favoritism that was, well, mine still beating that building was, or still is, insane. Because the issue is that, yo, you remember like that other person didn't do shit for 3 hours. For 3 hours. 4. There you go. 4 hours. 4. And we were just like, yo,
In the same spot.
in the same spot.
And mind you, we're not snitches, but when you have somebody getting away with, with murder, that's a problem.
That's a problem, yeah.
When you have somebody going above and beyond into what they're getting away with, that's an issue because now it's like, espérate, I'm over here, I'm roaming the halls, jotting shit down, checking staircases, checking stuff, whatever. And I keep passing the same office every hour, and that person is still there.
And they're just watching
And
videos.
because we have access to cameras to a certain extent, yeah, I see that person hasn't moved from that spot. There's only 2 exits, and those 2 exits are covered with cameras. And I go back and look, and I'm like,
they're still there.
they have not left their spot because they didn't went through any of the fucking exits.
Facts.
So it's like, wait, you telling us that we're not doing our jobs because we're walking around like we're supposed to? Just because we don't have a piece of paper in our hands? Oh, I'm sorry. It's in the suit.
It's in the suit, yeah.
Mind your business, my guy.
Nah,
Mind your business.
you know, it got to a point where a lot of people were starting to leave. Remember that? And
Yeah.
And when I got there, remember, like, 2 people left because they couldn't take it anymore, the shenanigans that was going on in the building. But funny enough, I actually caught
A break.
a break. But I realized what I got myself into, like 5 days later, I think 3 days later after I got into the building, I knew all the shenanigans that was going on. And it was sad because the place, it was not a bad place to work in, but the management was horrible.
Terrible.
Horrible.
Terrible, bro.
Oh my God. And
I think that's the problem with jobs in general.
uh-huh.
And for those who know, security jobs. I think, of course, there are some bad apples. There are some people who don't really do their job, who don't really do what they gotta do in terms of punctuality and following their post orders. But 9 times out of 10, it's the account manager.
True.
Or the supervisor.
That is true.
Like currently, right now, I'm dealing with a supervisor who's too cryptic. He doesn't just say what he has to say. Like the other day, he tells me that I have to change my attire for working at the loading dock. Because, they put me at the loading dock so they could train someone else. And I went from a suit to just regular clothing. So first he tells me, hey, wear the sweater that represents the company. Copy. I wear it. All of a sudden, I think it was yesterday or the day before, he comes out of nowhere and says, "You gotta change your whole tire." I'm like, "Why are you picking on me, bro? I'm wearing the uniform." He's like, "Oh no, you gotta take off your coat when you come upstairs." So say that. Don't tell me I gotta change my whole attire.
Yeah, you
If
gotta.
I'm wearing the fucking uniform.
You gotta be specific.
Oh, nah, yeah. Just gotta take off your coat. I'm like, what else? What else? Oh, your sneakers, they say Nike.
Nah, at this point they just.
And if my cargo said Dickies, would it be a problem?
Oh wow.
If my cargo said Old Navy, would it be a problem? No. Stop nitpicking. Companies need to do extensive work when it comes to, let's see how supervisors and managers and account managers are doing.
Yeah, because that's how they lose people, man. That's how they lose people.
And granted, someone said it best, and we know who she is. It's all a revolving door.
Exactly.
Granted. But I've come to realize when you have a certain level of work to do, it takes a certain amount of training. No boss wants to go through the process over and over again.
I know.
Because I'll tell you right now, where I'm at right now, bro, if they go and start letting people like dip, it's clip. If they really have people just dip out, it's done. But nobody would do it because we got good money, we got free food, and that's the biggest thing.
That's why people don't want to leave.
I'm jacking.
Hey,
I save what, maybe 150 a week.
maybe more.
Before.
Maybe more.
Nah, porque para decirte la verdad, yo no gasto tanto
I do.
en comida.
I do.
Oh, no, then you would save maybe 200 easy.
Yeah, 15 breakfast, easy. Well, I keep I meal prep, but sometimes I don't. But when I don't, that's 20. So
Nah, but even the meal prep costs you money. Because let's say you spend $60 on a Sunday and you meal prep, right? That $60 is probably for one meal a day, right?
maybe 2.
Then there's breakfast. Maybe 2, but there's breakfast. Now, let's just say 15 times 5, that's 75. So now you got 75 plus the 60, that's 135. And if you amp up that $60 to a little more, maybe it's $150
A week.
a week. And I, thankfully, save money on that.
True.
I save money on that, bro.
But here's what I would say.
The best thing. Oh my God, this is a new couch. Let me see if I could crisscross this episode.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I will say this: when it comes to jobs and opportunities, like try to have like different options, multiple options.
100%.
Even if you have a job, keep applying.
Keep applying.
Keep applying.
Because at the end of the day, I've come to realize that you'll mess around, find a good job, good money, whatever, and then down the line, maybe 6 months, you find something with more money.
Yeah, because look. We got to a point where you have to remember when they call you from the hospital, and we were like, we were cocky, like, nah, I don't want to give my schedule away because Monday to Friday, and all of a sudden,
But you see, God got my back.
Yeah, he did.
Big homeboy up here, he got my back because I got a Monday to Friday.
Nah, you got a Monday to Friday.
I got a Monday to Friday morning shift.
Exactly.
And this week I did, some OT. So, let's check about
yeah, you got to tell me how that looked like, okay? But...
Nah, shit, the 52-hour check.
Hey, but with that being said, I'm not going to lie. It's not like I didn't get what I want. At least I'm in a place where I know that, in order for me to get out of that place, I had to fire myself. Doing stupid stuff.
Nah, fire yourself either leaving or
Even-
doing dumb shit. Yeah.
Exactly. So
100%, 100%.
I'm only living where I'm at. Like, you know the answer to that question. Like, you know the answer to that.
Nah, you're in a situation, and honestly, when it comes to work, it's just, you know, bro, at fin del día, you know, we just trying to look for the best thing possible.
Especially in New York City, because, you know,
It makes no sense.
it makes no sense. With so many layouts, these rents keep going up, bro. Like, I don't even know what to tell you.
Like,
Now they want $2,000 for the studio in the Bronx. In the Bronx. So it's getting crazy, man. It's getting crazy.
the place next door wants $2,800 for a studio.
Oh, what?
And if you don't got the job for that, and granted, yo, I'm gonna be real. Like, I don't mind. Call me wild. If I'm paying $3,000 for a 1-bedroom and it's a good size, not a decent, a good size,
Good side.
and I'm with somebody, let's say, I don't mind it.
It's true.
Half, you know, $3,000. Here's where I don't mind it: amenities.
Yes.
Cause even, you know, even places that don't have like amenities right there, they have things surrounding the area. But where I'm at right now, you got a laundry room. I got a gym.
That is
I
still
got
closed.
a terrace. I got a terrace. I got a lounge room. I got a media room. So those things, you know, they come in handy when, you know, I just don't want to leave the building.
True.
$2 a wash, $2 a dry.
True.
Gym is free. Patron, what are you doing?
I don't know. Exactly. Stay there.
Thank you. That's the editor, guys.
Uh-huh.
You'll get to meet him very soon.
That's why I applied to the apartment that you sent me, because it has parking. So let's say, God willing, I get the apartment. That's $300 that I'm gonna be able to save for myself.
That we know of.
Now we know, unless
Because if they charge parking separately, let's hope it's less than 3.
that's crazy. You think they're gonna do that?
Bro, because think about it like this.
Well, they did the same thing with the one in the corner.
No. Think about it like this. You got this big building, 200 units. Do you think there are 200 parking spots under that building?
Nah, impossible.
Max?
50.
We thought of the same number.
Yeah,
50.
that's why we get along.
50, maybe 60 if they have those hydraulic lifters.
And I want to say, right?
And even with those hydraulic lifters, it still might be money, because remember something, when we started looking up businesses and shit while we were at work at this company, we realized that the more stuff you put in, some things need maintenance, some things need an extra body to watch over, so that costs more money. So they might just charge you separate parking.
What I would say, out of all of the units, right, in total,
Yeah.
which is 250 something maybe. I want to say
About.
right. Remember, there's like 10. I want to say 15 apartments that are 3 rooms, right? So
Those most likely, anybody, yo,
They get-
I'm gonna be real, they
got the parking
got
guaranteed.
parking.
Guaranteed. So you have to
And not-
deduct that.
And not
Arrest.
necessarily guaranteed as in it's included in the rent. Guaranteed as in, if you got a 3-bedroom apartment, it's because you got kids, or because one of y'all, mofos got a car. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you have to deduct that from the 50 spaces.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Because what if they do a raffle?
For the parking,
Yeah.
I don't want to say
Not impossible.
Damn, that's hard, bro.
Because what if they charge cheap?
Parking?
Like, let's say they come out of nowhere and be like, "Oh, we got a raffle going on. It's 200 a month."
Oh,
You know, everybody and their mothers is gonna go for that raffle.
Yeah, even if they don't have a car.
Yo, you know why? Because they're gonna. If it was me, because I don't got a whip right now. If it was me,
I would
go for the raffle, and if I get the parking, I'll charge somebody.
I was about to say that. And if you're Hispanic or Dominican, you
gotta rent space.
You gotta rent the space.
You gotta
give
rent
me 300 for it. They give me 400 for it, bro.
Like, you'll always be covered, bro. Here's the key
here's the
fob.
key.
Boom. Always make sure you pay me, because the day you don't, I will take your car and out,
bro. Like, you know what? And don't pay me through sale. I want my shit cash.
Why you always want cash?
Because they don't so that way they don't track it.
You didn't hear that.
You didn't hear that. You didn't hear that. Yeah, that's why. So the parking spot that I used to put my car, the guy, he actually went to $400 a month now, but he only take cash. The reason being is because that's considered like off the books.
No, yeah, but you see,
And
this is why
they don't want to report that though.
Nah, they don't. And yo,
And if you have, and if you had 20 cars,
have you seen that episode of Batman where Joker, he's calculating how much he's gonna have to pay the IRS? He said, "I'll go toe to toe with Batman, but IRS, I'm not messing with them."
Nah. You
don't mess with them.
You gotta be crazy.
Yo, that's literally how he sounded, bro. But that's why work is important, bro, because it's like, you know, we need that money, and especially until we decide to leave this beautiful state of New York. I find it hard to leave.
Me too.
But until we decide to leave,
me too.
We need that, you know, that expendy, you know, that money. Yeah, like so, babe. That green.
Yeah, green. Yeah, bro. Cause let me tell you something. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's there's always a competition to, you know, it's always a race to trying to find the next gig that is gonna help you pay the bills. And
facts.
From my experience, I have spent most of my life chasing after jobs, job after job after job, trying to get a better pay, and it's getting ridiculous. It's getting fucking ridiculous out here, bro. You got companies that they don't want to pay. Remember what your supervisor tell you when you tell him about my application? Oh, tell your boy to apply to get $19 an hour in New York City. So,
he honestly, bro, he pissed me off with that, because it's like I was trying to put homeboy on to my gig, because my gig where I'm working at is fire. Granted, every good thing has a con. Every pro has a con. Every amazing thing has a disastrous thing. That's how I've always seen life, and that's how it is. So the fact that he goes and tells me like, oh, is he in the system? I'm like, yeah, he's in the system. What you mean? He applied and everything. No, is he working for Mulligan? Bro, the man currently has a job.
Yep.
And he is not going to leave the job that's paying him what he's getting paid to lower his standards just to hopefully get into here.
Yeah, that was crazy. I don't know what he was talking about. Like, he's
nah, bro.
Like, I don't understand, bro.
Bugging out.
Yeah, because, bro, that's the same thing. We're going back to the beginning. We got bills to pay.
Where is this
how
thing?
is it that these people do not understand that, bro? Like, I don't get it.
Nah, bro. It's all budget.
Where the hell do they
budget.
think we live? In Krypton? We live here in New York. Bro, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm telling you.
Nah, check this out. I'm finding something just for this. Something on Reddit, because I love Reddit. What are the craziest things that happen on the first day of work?
Go ahead.
Check this out. Espérate, ¿dónde está? This one. I was 7 months pregnant and I was shadowing the general manager of a local restaurant. Another employee had mopped behind the registers, think Panera Bread type of setup, while we toured the dining room and didn't put up a wet floor sign. When we walked back behind the counter, I slipped on the wet floor and busted my ass. Luckily, the general manager was behind me, and I was able to break my fall a bit. Nothing was broken or injured. Baby is fine, still healthy. 8-year-old boy today. But damn, that was not a good first impression, bro. You imagine? I thought to myself because when I read this, I thought about the time I did a tour in Rite Aid. My first day on the job, one of the shelves almost fell on me, bro.
Oh, damn.
I'm over here. Mind you, this is a tour. I'm not supposed to be touching anything, technically, quote unquote. And for those who know, Rite Aids, Duane Reade's, Walgreens, they have, those little like plastic things and stuff like that. So I see, I see that the plastic thing is like wide open.
Oh, man.
And I'm over here like, oh, you know what? Let me fix it real quick, Tour guide, the manager, is talking, whatever. And I'm go, oh, look at this. This is supposed to be like all the way, spread it. He's like, oh, yeah, you're right. Good eye. And the shelf was about to come down, and homeboy looks at me like, you're going to be a great stock guy. What happened to register?
Nah.
What happened to the register? Like, I want to interact with people to make my fucking day go by quickly, bro.
Nah, I have a story. You're probably going to laugh on this one.
Hit me.
Yo, I had a friend who used to work in Domino's, making deliveries. And he told me that one time he went to the back to pick up the boxes, right? And he slipped en una pate pizza on the sauce that was on the floor.
What in the Mario Kart? What? So, not a banana peel.
Nah, on the the tomato
On the pizza
sauce?
dough?
Yeah, nah, the tomato sauce. It was on the floor.
Oh, wow.
It was on the floor and boy slipped, bro. Bro.
That's why I never liked working
Yeah.
in food places, bro.
Bro.
I never liked working in food places. Hold on.
That's when he find out how flexible he was.
I'm crying.
Él nunca volvió a trabajar ahí porque yo siempre le digo, oye,
Oh, you always remind him.
yeah, like, oh, te caíste en una pate pizza.
Yo, it's always been funny to me how some things in Spanish they just sound so much better.
They sound better, bro.
even romantic shit.
Yeah.
Like, I love you, baby.
But
Yo te amo, baby.
it's okay. So how do you? Okay, I'm gonna say it in Spanish and you're gonna say it in English.
Hit me.
How do you say "te quiero romper esa creta"?
I wanna break your vagina.
I guess, cause
No,
isn't
porque
it, like, wouldn't you say like, I
creta-
wanna break your coochie or some shit like that?
Yeah, I wanna break your coochie.
Okay,
Nah.
that's the right translation for that.
Pero te quiero romper esa creta just sounds better. I don't know. Maybe it's because, we're Latino.
Nah, yeah.
We're Afro-Latino. So at the end of the day, we kind of mix it up and stuff like that and shit.
No, cause check this out.
We go back and forth.
You're gonna
I'm
laugh.
more Spanglish than you.
You're gonna laugh, but check this out. Check this pickup line. Wow, baby, I wanna be your mechanic. Why? Cause I wanna. What is it?
Oh my God. That's corny.
How do you say disarm? Oh, because I want to disarm your coochie. That doesn't sound right,
No, it's corny.
right? But
That's corny.
But in Spanish, it's like
Now, there are people who would go for it though.
really.
Yeah.
Yo, what
If
did
you have somebody who's like a bit cheesy here and there and whatnot, I'm gonna try that on my shorty today.
Try.
I'm gonna try it on my shorty today.
Cause
You
then
know,
like
baby, I'm trying to be a mechanic, cause you know I'm trying to disarm that Gucci. Like, what you
Okay.
doing? I guess it's more of a delivery kind of thing.
Yeah, cause
Like the way you deliver.
No, cause like in Spanish would be like, it's a diablo, mami, yo quisiera ser tu mecánico, and then you expect like the
Porque te quiero desarmar ese toto.
Te quiero-
That sounds better.
a desarmarte la creta.
Bro, that sounds better.
That sounds better.
It generally sounds better, bro.
Yeah.
Nah, bro. Hold on. I got another one.
Mami, tengo tu delincuente aquí para metértelo preso.
I'm crying. Oh, here it is.
Oh
I-
my god.
Another saved one. I used to work part-time at McDonald's. On my first day shift at McDonald's, things were going smoothly. Until the soda machine exploded.
Wow.
I thought she was going to say ice cream machine, but okay.
Soda machine? Okay.
Excuse me. I was refilling the syrup when suddenly it started spraying everywhere like a fire hydrant gone rogue. The entire floor got soaked in sticky soda, and I was standing there drenched from head to toe. Customers were watching, fries half eaten as I tried to stop it, but it just wouldn't quit. Then, as if things couldn't get worse, my manager walked in, slipped on the soda, and went down like a cartoon character. Everyone froze, and I was convinced I was going to get fired on the spot. Instead, the manager started laughing. And soon, the whole restaurant joined in. We spent the next hour mopping up the mess. Safe to say, my McDonald's career got off to a wild start, and I'll never look at soda machines the same way again.
Now that's a crazy story.
Again, why I don't work at food restaurants, bro.
Bro, I don't like working at fast food restaurants. This is the
I
thing.
worked at Taco Bell, Chipotle, and a deli.
So you do know that even if you the guy who works in the back, like I guess like you the guy who making the fries. Bro, if somebody blows up the bathroom, you're the one who gotta be the plumber. And sweep that down and whatever, yada. I don't like that. And like I said, there is a fight in something, and there's always a fight in a fast food restaurant. Always. Yo, McDonald's, back in the day on A Avenue, right? By Payne Station, there used to be a fight with crackheads every day. And I ended up hating it. I'm like, nope.
By Penn Station?
Yes.
Where's Penn Station again?
What's the name of this stadium?
Yankee Stadium?
No. By the Madison Square Garden.
Penn Station.
Yes, Penn Station.
Got you.
Same thing.
That's
Lo mismo, pero diferente.
Crackhead Central, bro.
That's I'm glad you recognize that.
Nah, yeah, because it's like, granted, it's downtown. People, bro, and especially with the fact that New York City gets filled up from, what is it? Something 3 million people that live here all the way to 6-7 million people on regular days because niggas is coming here to work.
Yeah.
And it's like, ooh, okay.
What you don't know is that there is a bunch of shelters around that area. Like a bunch.
Bro, I have nothing
Which I don't
against
get
that.
it. I don't have nothing against that. It's just that
It's the people.
people don't know how to behave.
They don't, bro.
I told you about it. Like I was like, yo, and even here in this building, I told you, que sooner or later se va a dañar el building.
Where I live right now.
It's a nice building.
That's what he's talking about. Where I live right now.
Yeah.
It's gonna go to shits eventually.
Exactly. Why? It's because the people don't know how to behave, and we have a problem. We actually have a problem with that. Didn't I tell you that now a crackhead goes into my building and decides to take a shit in the stairs? Like, for the love of God, you need to take a shit, go outside, and then come back into the building if you're cold. Don't take a shit in the staircase.
Nah, bro. And mind you,
Oye, esa plata
around
de
where
mierda
you at,
duró, esa plata de mierda duró como 4 días ahí.
nah. And the funny thing is, around your area, I hate to say it, it's like, why go in a building when you have all those trees? Just be like a dog, bro, and just take a shit right next to the. Nobody's gonna think anything.
That's true.
Somebody's gonna look at the shit and be like, yo, that's a bit big for a big dog. Bro, that's how I know. That's how I know if a bum has tried it, you know, has fucked around and thought, oh yeah, let me take a dump right here. Cause it's like you could tell, like, oh yeah, that's human shit.
Nah, yeah, bro. From far away, you don't even
It's like,
need.
why is that a pile?
You don't even need a 20/20 sight. You'll see it. You will identify.
Like, yo, blurry
bro.
vision and everything. You'll be like,
Yeah, that's the shit.
espera,
That's too
¿qué
much.
es
For,
eso?
that's too much for the duck.
Nah, facts, bro.
Yeah,
Facts.
nah. It's just the way that it is, bro. People don't
bro.
know how to behave, and it's a problem. It's definitely a problem. You know, man. Didn't you see the video that I sent you? It was I sent it to you through WhatsApp. It's like it's raining. It's raining outside. It's early in the morning. I'm on my way to the gym. It's literally 5 o'clock in the morning, bro. And this guy was just passed the fuck out on the sidewalk. Mark Anthony and crack. I mean, Mark Anthony and crack.
Nah,
Look
that's
at it.
crazy.
Yo, the guy's like, and I'm like, oh, and I'm here paying rent while you sleeping on the street like that. Not comfortable too. I'm like, yo, bro, this is wild.
Nah, it's sad.
It is
It's
sad,
sad
though.
to say, like, you know.
Let me see if I can show it to you. Let me see.
Nah, yeah, find it. But it's crazy to say that there are homeless people that are comfortable in their lifestyle because it's like
Too
they have.
comfortable.
You say too comfortable, bro, but think about it. They have no stress.
Damn, yeah.
They're not worried because, you know.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Tell me that doesn't look like Mark Anthony.
Nah, nigga, I see no.
Asino.
I see no.
Asino.
I see no, bro.
Bro, you're going to have to send that to me so we can show it to the audience.
It's right there. It's in your WhatsApp.
Oh, it's on my WhatsApp?
Yeah, I sent it to you.
Oh, okay, bad. I'm definitely going to
Yo,
put that
crazy.
Nah, nigga, I see no. I see no. Okay?
You
I
know,
see
I
no.
always send you like the craziest stuff, like in the bras, like the one with
Bro.
with no doors, the one with no
up.
wheels. I'm like, yo, and the one that was like the
ridiculous.
car was left like on the street, and it was missing one side, and it's like the guy just ran and left his whole car there. You didn't remember that one?
Oh.
Ah, yeah, that was crazy.
Now you got to send me that one too. We got to show our viewers, our audience, all the bullshit that we see.
Dime, ¿a cómo que está en la puerta? Yo te vendo 4 aquí. La creta.
Oh, by the way,
Everyday
I
basis. What's up?
I just saw the sneakers that you got for the red ones,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like,
Oh, the bike airs?
yo, the red ones. I saw it on somebody on my job, and I'm like, they look good though.
If the resale wasn't so good, you know, I would have definitely kept them.
Nah, too much money, bro. Like,
Nah, I don't mind. Like, yo, respectfully, bro, the most I'll spend on some sneakers, good job and good work,
300.
5.
All right.
5 to 6. And the reason I say 5 to 6 is because I'll put that to use. I'll put the sneaker to actual use to the point where it's like, oh, okay.
Now I'm trying to get the blue gammas, whatever it is, before
The blue what?
the gamma blues, I think it is. or Blue
Okay.
gammas, whatever the hell that is.
Okay.
But I'm
The
trying.
Gamma 11.
Okay, yeah, those. I wanted the
I thought you said blue Gamba.
blue mamba.
No.
Okay. So
But nah, yeah. Like definitely $500-$600. I'll definitely shit. I hit on some. It's called big head mode. Pause.
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 Capital. Everything.
Funny enough, that's how it's written. Big head mode Air Max 1s.
Okay.
And it was a pre-order. And I'm over here thinking in my head, while I'm at work, just chilling, like, oh shit, let me see if I go for these, because, you know, they seem like they're going to be rare. So far, the resale's looking beautiful. But because it's a pre-order, excuse me, because it's a pre-order, I have to wait until they send me a confirmation of shipping, because the order is confirmed, but now I gotta wait for them to ship it out.
Okay.
And I'm thinking in my head like, shit, I could sell it cash, 400, a cool 400. I pay like maybe like 174 on that. And I'm thinking in my head like, shit, I could go ahead, make a proper profit of 200 and what, $26, literally from spending 174.
Okay.
You know, I'm not.
Are those the one? Are those
I'm
the one
not
that
a
you sent me?
reseller. I'm not a reseller. I'm a regular guy who just happens to hit from time to time and get lucky. Before people go in the comments talking about, oh, you one of those guys who be botting. I don't
True.
bot.
Yeah, nah, ain't nobody got time
I
for
have
that.
not gotten enough money from a job for me to buy a bot and bot.
Nah.
I've not gotten that lucky. And bots nowadays, they're bread. If you want to buy it, it is money. Now you got to rent it.
Nah, ain't nobody got time for that. Are those the one that you sent me? Like the brownish and black low? No, right?
No, these ones. Let me show you. And mind you, they're simple, but because they're ¿cómo te digo? Like, how do I tell you? Air Max 1. These.
Oh, damn, but they look good though.
They do, but resale's looking nice. Resale's looking cute. Resale's looking nice. Chupapi muñeño.
Chupapi muñeño.
Muñeño chupapi.
Yeah. But all right, I think, you know, we gotta do what we gotta do at the end of the day.
We do.
Applies for as many jobs as possible.
Always go for jobs that are gonna pay you more, and don't always necessarily go for the benefits, because if you're someone who is disciplined enough to take their money to the next level, whether you're getting paid 15 an hour, 30 an hour, 100 an hour, if you're able to maximize, you know, pay yourself first, as they say, put your money into a 401k, Roth IRA, investing. You don't need jobs necessarily that, oh yeah, we offer benefits. Go for the most money, in my opinion.
True. And
Go for the most money, bro, respectfully.
yeah.
Because if you got a job that's paying you $100 an hour after taxes and everything, if you get taxed, because, you know, some people are lucky enough to not get taxed like we do in New York.
Fats.
Because I don't remember the government working 25% of my shift,
True.
respectfully.
Or doing overtime.
Too soon.
Too soon.
Too soon. But we're going to end it on that note.
Also, don't spend your money on shit that you don't need. It's the facts.
I don't agree, but let's just leave it at that.
All right. Like,
Thank you for tuning in.
comment, and subscribe.
Yes, please. Show love, and hopefully we can continue this. Hopefully we can grow a community from this.
That's
and,
right.
you know, continue on forth. Like, comment, subscribe, like he said. But most of all, please be honest. If I want this to be a podcast or a channel that we can grow, change over time.
Yes.
If you guys have ideas, you know, throw it in the comments. If you guys have something to say, excuse me. something to say in terms of
Constructive criticism is important in order to
is.
grow.
It
Keep it
is.
positive though. All right, keep it positive.
Nah, doesn't have to be always positive.
Well, there's a different. There is a difference between being positive in a comment section and being all toxic.
True. Don't be toxic.
Exactly. Hey.
Leave
Hold
that
on.
for your shorty. Leave that for your man.
Exactly.
Don't bring it to us.
Yeah.
You know, your Yerskis over here. Your Yerskis.
Ski.
But anyways, have a good morning. Have a good night. Depending on when you're watching. Chop it up. Signing out.
Peace. Patru.